Aging is a natural part of life, but with it comes an array of changes. Some we welcome, others we wish to avoid. One change that often worries people as the years progress is the gradual decline in cognitive abilities. We notice names slipping our minds more easily. Puzzle solving becomes just a bit more challenging. And sometimes, the vibrancy of our memories seems to fade like an old photograph. Though some changes are inevitable, much of the decline associated with brain health is not set in stone. Instead, it's shaped by the very habits woven into our daily routines. Let's embark on an exploration of the 5 critical habits that seniors need to stop right now to help preserve their brain health, maintain cognitive sharpness, and enjoy a higher quality of life. Many of these behaviors might seem harmless or simply part of everyday living, but mounting scientific evidence shows that abandoning them can make a world of difference. If you, or a loved one, are looking for ways to keep the mind agile, read on as we unpack why these habits matter, illustrate their impact, and most importantly, share ways to channel your lifestyle in a more brain-healthy direction. To begin, let's address one of the most damaging habits for brain health: smoking. Smoking has long been associated with a variety of health problems, from cardiovascular disease to cancer, but its effect on the brain is often underestimated. The chemicals inhaled while smoking damage the blood vessels, and over time, this leads to reduced blood flow to vital organs, including the brain. When the brain receives less oxygen-rich blood, its ability to function declines. Even more troubling, research shows that the compounds found in cigarette smoke foster inflammation throughout the body. This neuroinflammation is a precursor to various neurodegenerative conditions. For seniors, this translates directly to an increased risk of cognitive decline, at a rate that can outpace their non-smoking peers. One landmark study demonstrated that seniors who smoke experienced up to a 10% greater loss in cognitive function compared to those who never smoked. This is not a trivial amount. It can mean the difference between living independently or requiring daily assistance. Moreover, the cumulative effects of smoking can speed up the onset of dementia, including Alzheimer's disease. It is not just about memory loss. Attention span, problem-solving skills, and even emotional regulation can be compromised. The encouraging news is that the brain has a remarkable capacity for recovery. Even long-term smokers can benefit from quitting at any age. Once smoke-free, the body immediately starts to heal. Blood flow improves, inflammation reduces, and brain cells receive more of the critical nutrients they need to thrive. Studies show that after 5 years of quitting, former smokers' risks of stroke and cognitive decline reduce to levels much closer to those who never smoked. Quitting isn't easy, but the rewards, particularly concerning brain health, are profound. Next on our list of habits is excessive sugar consumption. While a sweet treat now and again might seem innocent enough, the reality is that diets high in added sugars can wreak havoc on brain health. Our brains demand a steady, regulated stream of energy, primarily in the form of glucose. However, chronic overconsumption causes the brain to become overwhelmed, leading to widespread inflammation, insulin resistance, and even long-term structural changes within the brain itself. High sugar intake has been linked to impairments in memory, especially short-term memory. It also contributes to a slower processing speed and increasing difficulty in problem-solving and multitasking, skills that become increasingly vital as we age. Not only that, but high sugar diets have been associated with a greater risk of developing depression and anxiety, which themselves are risk factors for cognitive decline. For seniors seeking to protect their minds, scrutinizing sugar consumption is an essential step. This doesn't mean depriving yourself of every delightful dessert, but it does mean being vigilant about the sources of sugar in your daily diet. Sugary drinks, store-bought baked goods, processed foods, and even some cereals are loaded with hidden sugars. By swapping these for naturally sweet foods like fruits and choosing whole grains over processed snacks, you're not only supporting your cognitive health but also improving your overall well-being. Reducing sugar helps keep inflammation down, promotes healthy blood vessels to the brain, and can stabilize energy levels, allowing the brain to function at its best day after day. Moving on, let's examine the modern dilemma of too much screen time, particularly in the hours leading up to bed. The digital revolution has transformed our world, bringing information and entertainment to our fingertips. However, prolonged exposure to screens, especially late in the evening, comes with a significant downside for seniors aiming to safeguard their cognitive health. The blue light emitted by phones, tablets, computers, and televisions interferes with the production of melatonin, the hormone responsible for regulating sleep-wake cycles. Without adequate melatonin, falling asleep becomes more difficult, and the quality of rest declines. Over time, chronic sleep deprivation leads to impaired memory, sluggish thinking, and reduced attention span. Sleep is when the brain consolidates memories, clears away toxins, and repairs itself. When those processes are disrupted, the entire system suffers. It isn't just about sleep either. Excessive screen time can contribute to sedentary behaviors, reducing opportunities for both mental and physical stimulation, two cornerstones of healthy aging. Seniors are encouraged to establish screen-free routines, particularly in the evening. This might include reading a book, engaging in light conversation, or enjoying calming hobbies like knitting or listening to music. Cultivating a wind-down routine not only improves sleep, but nurtures a state of relaxation and readiness to face each day with mental clarity. Furthermore, the act of disconnecting from screens encourages real-world social engagement and physical activity, the very things that most benefit long-term brain health. The fourth habit to avoid is social isolation. As we grow older, life can unintentionally lead to a shrinking social circle. Retirement, health challenges, and the loss of loved ones can all conspire to leave seniors spending more time alone. Yet loneliness is not just an emotional burden. It's a proven health risk that rivals even smoking and obesity in its impact on longevity and cognitive health. Social interaction stimulates countless regions of the brain, supporting critical thinking, memory retention, verbal skills, and emotional intelligence. Meaningful social engagement builds what scientists refer to as cognitive reserve, a buffer that helps the brain resist the effects of aging and even mask the symptoms of degenerative diseases for longer periods. Seniors who remain socially active score higher on cognitive tests, report greater happiness, and show less rapid thinning of the brain's cortex where most thinking takes place. Importantly, socialization isn't limited to large gatherings. Even regular chats with a neighbor, joining a weekly club, or having phone conversations with family count. Volunteering, participating in group classes, and seeking out new friendships through community centers can work wonders. Social activity introduces novelty and challenge, two ingredients that keep the aging brain agile and alert. Finally, among all these habits, the one with the greatest influence on brain health is a lack of regular exercise. Physical movement is a potent catalyst for brain health. Countless studies have shown that regular physical activity dramatically lowers the risk of cognitive decline. How does it work? Exercise increases the flow of blood, oxygen, and nutrients to the brain, supporting the growth of new brain cells and strengthening connections between them. Physical exercise also stimulates the release of powerful chemicals in the brain, such as brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that promotes brain cell survival, growth, and plasticity. This means that the brain is better equipped to handle stress, recover from injury, and adapt to new challenges, a process known as neuroplasticity. Seniors who exercise regularly exhibit better memory, faster processing speeds, and improved executive function, like planning and organizing. The benefits are immediate and accumulative. Studies show that even moderate intensity activity, like brisk walking, swimming, cycling, or yoga, for as little as 30 minutes most days of the week, can foster measurable improvements. For those with mobility challenges, chair exercises, Tai Chi, or light resistance training are excellent options. The key is consistency. Adding movement to daily life can be as simple as walking around the block, dancing, tending a garden, or even doing household chores with a bit more energy. Importantly, Exercise doesn't just help protect the brain directly. It also supports better sleep, lowers stress, controls blood sugar, and improves cardiovascular health. All these factors combine to create a resilient, healthy mind that can enjoy the fullness of life for years to come. So what does it all mean when we bring these habits together? In essence, the aging brain is not doomed to decline, far from it. With mindful attention to daily habits, anyone can cultivate a mental environment thriving with growth, adaptability, and strength. Quit smoking and replenish vital blood flow and nutrients to nourish your neurons. Reduce sugar and lower the inflammation that threatens to cloud your memories and dull your thinking. Step away from your screens at night and gift yourself restorative sleep, vital for memory and repair. Reach out to friends and loved ones, revive old hobbies, and dare to build new social bridges that keep your brain network active and expansive. And most of all, move, walk, stretch, dance, or garden, making activity a joyful and regular presence in your life. As you reflect on your habits, ask yourself, where is there room for change? Often the most powerful transformations come from the smallest, most consistent shifts. Maybe you start with a short stroll after lunch, switch soda for a glass of water, or pick up the phone for a weekly chat with a friend. The journey toward sharper, healthier brains is a personal one, but the rewards ripple outward, touching every part of your well-being, independence, happiness, and an enduring sense of purpose. Our brains are our lifelong companions, shaping every thought, memory, and experience. With conscious effort and a commitment to good habits, it is possible to celebrate each year not just for the wisdom it brings, but for the clarity and vitality of mind that continues to unfold. What steps will you take today to honor your brain's incredible potential? The choice is yours. Let's make it one that leads to a thriving, resilient, and joyful later life.